I think every boy who has issues with his father wants to just be better than him. To show him that he can do it without him. So I thought my dad's like an attorney, or he's not an attorney, but he's doing policy work, he works in the Capitol, that's like law. I was like, well, if he's gonna do that, I'm gonna be better than that. That means I'm gonna be a doctor. Doctors are better than lawyers, write it down. I was in a special program called MESA, and my teacher, Mrs. Yamamoto, nominated me to be in the National Youth Leadership Forum on Medicine. So as a junior, I was able to go to the National Youth Leadership Forum on Medicine at UC Berkeley, have my first off-campus college experience, and it was really tight. This picture also makes me sad. Not because I was sad, because I liked her and she liked him, and I just... It's like I could never win. This experience really opened my eyes to what college could be like. We lived in dorms. I was in Berkeley, which was a crazy, everybody here knows about Berkeley, right? Like that's a nationwide phenomenon, right? So it was this crazy place, and I said, okay, for sure college, because this is fun. And I can see the application of my learning now because of the things that we're doing here, and also my talents are starting to show up a little bit more. So I was like, cool, medicine, doctor, better than my dad, I'm one, life's ever, that's it. Until I met this woman, Mr. Blonsky. Mr. Blonsky was my senior year history teacher, and it was her first year teaching, and she came from the world of politics. Now, I was a mess in high school still. I was smoking every day, I was smoking at school, I was still depressed and anxious, I had all these problems. I was a wreck, and I was hell for my teachers, okay? I did my work, which is always my saving grace, is doing the work, but damn, I needed to shut up, you know? Like just Caliph, like Caliph. That's all I heard all day. Because I was one of those kids where they're like, the difference is your voice carries. Right? We know those kids. And I knew that if I spoke, everybody spoke. That's what they tell me. The thing is, when you start talking, everybody starts talking. You're the one, you're the problem. I'm like, all right, man, chill out. No, I don't, I'm gonna be a wreck. So, I would do my thing, I would disrupt class, I just needed attention. See, my mom, even though she was wrapped up in all her stuff, she didn't even realize what I was going through. I never got counseling, I didn't really have anybody to talk to. Her pain was overwhelming for her, so my pain wasn't something that was ever discussed and never mattered. So I went through this entire time without any resources, without any help, without any understanding of what I was going through and what I was supposed to do. And the teachers, most of them, treated me as a problem, except for Miss J. She saw something in me. She wouldn't allow me to be that guy. So she played into my habits and who I was. Thankfully, history is a class where talking is welcome. And also government, Mr. McAdoo, who may rest in peace, was also a teacher that was really impactful to me. But Miss J, the thing about her is that she never treated me like I was a bad kid. She never called me a problem, said, you're the problem. All she did was build a relationship with me. You want to talk? Cool. Call on you every single time. Before you come to school, before you come to class, you're going to stop right here, we're going to talk. We're going to have a conversation. I'm going to check on you. I'm going to see how you're doing. Miss J was so nice to me, despite me being such a dick, that I couldn't help but to fall kind of in love with her, right? I'm like, why are you being so kind to me? Why are you treating me so well? I don't get this, but what I do know is I don't want to disappoint you. See, the most important thing in my life with teachers was the relationship that I had with them. It was never the subject matter. It was never the time of class. It was always, how do you treat me? Because I didn't want to disappoint my mother. That's why, despite all the things that were happening, I was like, hey, I'm going to do some D's. But Miss J, I really didn't want to disappoint. She treated me like I was somebody. She treated me like I was smart. She treated me like I mattered. And I really felt like I did in her class. I was so confident in history because she made me feel that way. So I was on this road to be a doctor, and Miss J says, Caliph, there's this program called Peer Corps, and you have to do it. I said, Miss J, I'm not doing that. I'm about to be a doctor. I don't need no law stuff. I don't need that. She said, no, Caliph, you need to do it. And every day she started telling me, we need to do it, we need to do it, we need to do it, all year long. So finally, we get to the end, towards the end of the year, she says, Caliph, it's the last one. It's the last one. You have to do it. And because it was Miss J, I knew that I did. So I said, okay, Miss J, tired of you hollering at me, like, let me do it. So I went in and did this program, and it was a court case, and it happened right here at the Carroll Miller Justice Center in Sacramento, which is traffic court, whatever, Israel. And it was real plaintiffs, real defendant, and fake lawyers. I was the prosecution, and then the kid defense counsel, kid bailiff, kid jury, real judge. Okay? So the case was this guy named Mickey, and Mickey had stolen a laptop computer from the computer lab in his school. That was like when laptops were pretty brand new, kind of like 97, right? So it was a big deal to take, well, it still is, but either way, expensive item, okay? And his defense was, I have ADD, and on that day, I did not take my ADD medication, and that caused me to act up, and I stole the computer. I was like, okay, cool. So I had him on the stand. This is Mickey. You're gonna be Mickey. Okay. Yeah, you ready? All you do is sit there and take my scalps. Okay? So I had him on the stand, and I said, Mickey, so you said that you stole the computer because you didn't take your ADD medication. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. And then I said, Mickey, have you ever not taken your ADD medication before? And he said, yes. And I said, huh? Would you steal that time? And he said, and I said, interesting. I said, so you're telling me that you've not taken your ADD medication before, and you've not stolen anything? He said, no. I said, okay. Well, if that's the case, then not taking your ADD medication doesn't make you steal, does it? And he said, no. And I said, okay. I said, well, in that case, Mickey, isn't the truth that you taking your ADD medication had nothing at all to do with you stealing this laptop? And he said, yeah. He said it like that. Wow, look at you, girl. Actress. And so I looked over, and I'm the plaintiff, I'm here, the defense counsel's over here, and the kids on the defense counsel literally drop their heads and start crying. And over here, smiling, like, I did that, baby. I've never been on the prosecution side again since that day, but I'll tell you what, it was satisfying. So then they try and cross-examine Mickey, and I get a chance to go and ask him more questions. And I just go in on this kid, trying to make him look like a liar and a thief, and I'm just like, yeah, baby, I feel good, making you feel bad, I don't know why, but it's giving me a high. So I go in on this guy, and he starts to cry. And then I'm just like, okay, so I ease up. At the end of the case, the jury says, well, first of all, I won, obviously, and at the end, the jury says, you know, we thought it was good, but we thought that you went a little too hard on him with respect to the, after he already said what you wanted to say. I'm thinking, yeah, I did, and it was an awesome time. I don't care what you guys have to say. Then the judge said this, to the entire audience, this is the best peer court performance I've ever seen. And he looked at me and he said, largely because of your performance. He said, and I'm thinking, wow. And he said, but, he said, you had him where you wanted, and you kept going. You didn't have to do that. And I said, well, I'm sorry, Your Honor. It's my first time. And he threw his hands on the table in front of me and peered over and looked at me in the eye and said, it's your first time? And I was just like, oh, good, I think that means I'm awesome. I turned and I looked, and Mr. Blonsky's there, and we just lock eyes, and her eyes are big and glowing, and I mean, she's got some eyes on her, and I just remember that moment. My dad was there, my mom was there. I didn't even care about them. I only cared about her, because she was who I was trying to impress. She was the person that mattered, because she have made me find my gift. That gift took me a lot of places. That gift took me to UC Davis, where instead of doing a medical major, I chose political science. I was able to get elected to ASUC Senate. This is my time running for ASUC Senate, and this is the day that I won. And this is the day that I got sworn into office. And when I won that election, what I had to do to win it was give about 50 presentations around campus, shake a lot of hands, and I realized it was that communication ability that she had identified that helped me do all those things. What she gave me was a sense of competence and confidence in myself, in an area, helping me realize that I could be great at something. And I took that greatness straight to college with me, and I was able to win this election for ASUCD Senate, and then also I was able to win the election for ASUCD President. Because the bottom line is you have an opportunity to impact all these kids, not only to educate them, but to transform their lives. What happened to me in that classroom, building that relationship with my teacher, was a transformation of my life and helped me find that confidence and confidence in my ability to be something other than what I was. It helped me understand that I didn't have to be that guy, that I could be something totally different, that I can change my mindset. And when we talk about transformation, it's understanding what's going on with our kids today. They're hurting. 70% of kids, 13 to 17, say anxiety and depression are a huge deal. I know that y'all are educated on this and you're dealing with it, but through my story, understand the impact that it actually takes, the impact it actually makes to be conscious of that and work on that. Nobody was asking me about my anxiety or depression, and despite all my success, I almost overdosed on drugs and had to change my life on my own many years later. All that could have been prevented if people had actually checked on me when I was a young student, if I had those resources back then. But you don't necessarily have to be a counselor. It's just being able to identify that, hey, this kid needs help and maybe we should do something about it. Looking past that behavior and teaming up to understand that maybe it's not you that can make the difference, but it's somebody. I'll tell you what, no matter whether you're in a classroom, whether you're on the yard, whether you're in the office, whatever, if you have an opportunity to interact with a child, you have the opportunity to transform a child's life. It wasn't just Ms. Jablonski, there were others. She was the most impactful. But my hall monitor, Brenda, God, she was on me like crazy all the time. Chuck was in my face all the time telling me that I could do better. There were people all around me who told me I could do better, who helped me understand my potential, but it was just Mr. Jablonski who gave me something to focus on. You might not be the person who gives them everything, you might be the person that nudges them in the right direction, but the bottom line is everybody here has an opportunity to teach or lead for transformation. And what does that mean? Transformation is a thorough or dramatic appearance and form, change in appearance or form. That's what would mean, like for a caterpillar to become a butterfly. Here, it's a dramatic change in mindset, self-worth, self-confidence, and belief in one's ability to achieve greatness. This is what these kids need. Is something greater, is hope for a better future, is a belief that they can accomplish whatever they want. Because once I believe that, I left the drugs behind. But when I believed that I was hopeless, when I believed that I was worthless, when I believed that my life didn't matter, when I believed that my story was, I'm coming from a drug addict, I'm going to be a drug addict, when I believed that, I didn't care about my life. But when I started to believe this, that I was great and I can achieve greatness, everything changed for me. You have the opportunity to do this for every single kid in your district. No matter who you are, if you interact with kids, you can transform lives. And it's not huge stuff. Mr. Jablonski did one huge thing. She got into peer court. But had she not, just those interactions, just that relationship, just that kindness, made me step into her classroom feeling a little bit more confident. It made me come onto campus saying, I know there's going to be one place where I feel good today. There's going to be one person I interact with that makes me feel valued today. And that's something we all have the opportunity to do. So I want you to encourage you to teach and lead, because if you're on a campus, you're a leader. That's the bottom line. No matter what your role, you're a leader to these students. They're not looking up to you saying, oh, that's an adult I don't respect. They're looking up to you saying, dang, that's an adult. And what you bring to the table is going to matter. And so here's some steps. Number one is build a true relationship, right? Get to really know the kids. Not their behavior, okay? The kid, right? Understand what they like. Befriend them in a way that's safe and respectful and keeps the right distance, but let them know that you can actually trust them. Because trust is the issue here. If they can trust you, they can share with you. If they can share with you, you can help to guide them in a better direction. Identify your students' greatest talent, help them see the possibilities with that talent, and help them understand the connection between that talent and their academic success. See, what I know is that the reason I'm able to be successful as a speaker and I was able to build the business that I was able to build is because I learned an academic process, not in high school necessarily, but in college and in law school that taught me, yo, make a plan, execute, stay persistent, believe in yourself, and it will happen, and it has happened. Academics is just training for the real world. I don't remember anything Mr. Bonsi taught me in history. Not at all. Zero. None of it. I'm sorry, history teachers. They're going to forget. But that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Because they'll never forget how you made them feel, and they'll never forget how you treated them. And those two things alone can transform a life.